Hey guys, it's Cece, and Spookathon is officially on. So Spookathon has started. It's very exciting. It is a week of reading spooky books. If you didn't see my TBR, it won't matter because you're going to watch this vlog and I'll tell you what I actually read. I have 4 books on my TBR, but here's the problem. Before the readathon started, I was supposed to finish my reread of The Raven Cycle, and I haven't quite done that yet. I have about 120 pages left of The Raven King. So in a turn of events that is completely shocking to no one considering how my readathons have been going thus far in 2017, I'm starting already behind. I'm going to stay up and I'm going to finish reading all of The Raven King tonight. I barely stopped myself from reading it until 4 a.m. last night, and then after I finish that, I might go to bed, or if I have a little bit of time and I'm not too exhausted, I'm going to start on my first book. That's the plan. I'm hoping this is kind of a mellow week. I'm really kind of crossing my fingers for it, and that I'm actually going to get some serious reading done. I haven't been doing great on reading lately or readathons lately. I really want this readathon to push me into doing better. So I'm going to finish reading The Raven King. I've been listening to an instrumental playlist that's actually a instrumental Raven Cycle playlist that's been really helping me focus, which I've also been having a hard time with lately. So it's midnight, I'm going to put my headphones back in, and I'm going to finish up this book and probably cry, just like I did the first time I read this book like 2 months ago. I love The Raven King so very, very deeply. So even though I'm starting out behind, I'm not starting out sad, because I love this book. But yeah, that's the plan. Spookathon has started. Let's get going. Good morning! It is almost 11 a.m. on this fine Monday, and I am awake. And I am about to drive to my aunt's house. She's been having a bit of a hard time of it lately, and so she needs some help cleaning her apartment, just like a boost of support there while she needs it. And so that is what I'm going to go do. I'm going to go help her. I'm helping her a couple of days this week. So that is what I'm going to do. Last night, I finished reading The Raven King at like a little past 2 a.m. I've been going to sleep much earlier than 2 a.m. But last night I started The Raven King, couldn't finish it until I had finished my reread, and it was just as amazing as it was the first time. I absolutely love the conclusion to that series. So I know that I'm like in the minority on that, but I absolutely adore how the series closes, and it was really, really fun to finish up that reread. After that, I read about a chapter of The Murders of Molly Southbourne, which I've decided is going to be my first book for the readathon. This is only about 115 pages long, so it's a novella that I'm hoping I can knock out all today. I woke up early this morning and read to page 30. So I'm 30 pages in already to this novella, and it's super creepy so far, which is exciting, perfectly on trend. But now I'm gonna drive down to my aunt's house and get started on my day of activities. Okay, so I'm home now. A couple of days ago, my sister Zoe and I, we made a beverage. Butterbeer hot chocolate. Yeah, that! A video of us making that should already be up by the time you see this, so if you haven't watched it, we made stuff, go watch us make it, but we didn't finish it, so we poured some bonus stuff into the freezer. Oh. So now we have to see how it tastes frozen. Zoe's our test subject. Let's tune in. All right, here we go.
I'll be honest, I'm a little bit nervous.
Fair. Oh no. Is that a no? Well, the jury's back in. The jury's back in. Apparently, butterbeer hot chocolate is not to be consumed frozen. This just in. That response was incorrect. What she was tasting before was the frozen whipped cream, but we've dug down below the frozen whipped cream to the frozen hot chocolate itself.
There's like what do you call it when archaeologists have
a dig? What?
There's a dig. There's the hot chocolate dig going on in here.
Yes, and now, once we get that low, then it's good now. No, this is a mess. It's good now. That's what you need to know. Hi there. I thought I would update you and let you know that I have finished The Murders of Molly Southbourne, which is my first book for Spookathon. This was a pretty quick read, exactly like I said it was going to be. I thought I was going to be up late reading it, and I wasn't. I finished it up like 12:30, I think. I'm feeling like I might give it 3.5 stars. It was really solid and really creepy, but I don't know if I felt satisfied like after reading the ending I don't know how much I liked it as a full story. I felt like there were things missing. But yeah, 3.5 stars to the Murders of Molly Southbourne. That is what I'm feeling like. And I read the first 50 pages of And the Trees Crept In by Dawn Kurtagich. So I am really getting started. It's 1 a.m. I'm gonna go to sleep so that I can wake up early tomorrow, and I'm going back to my aunt's house. But that is a little reading update for you on day 1 of Spookathon. And I'm feeling pretty good about my progress so far. So I realized that when I checked in last night, I said that I had started reading And the Trees Crept In, but I didn't share any of my initial thoughts. So I have read about 60 pages so far, and what I think is, it's not the most strongly written in terms of, like, establishing a story, but I do think that it's getting scarier already, and I think once you get into the spooky stuff, that's when it's really going to start being great, because I think Dawn Kurtagich writes really good scary more than anything else. Also, right now, this book is reminding me of Crimson Peak a little bit, like, not the story necessarily, but just the vibe of these girls kind of showing up at this mansion and the creepy stuff happening around it. I don't know what it is that's reminding me of Crimson Peak, but it is. Other than that, it is about 6 p.m. on day 2 of Spookathon. I helped my aunt clean more today. We cleaned top to bottom of her house. Yesterday we were organizing, today we are cleaning, and tomorrow we have a couple more projects to do, and then that should be done. Right now I am editing a video because I was a bad YouTuber yesterday and I did not edit the video that was supposed to go up today. So it's gonna go up a day late, but it is a video about my favorite witchy stuff, which I'm really excited about. So I'm going to do that. Maybe then I'll read, but I'm pretty solo this evening. My sister is out at a school thing and my mom is out at a thing, so they're not gonna be home until later. So I guess it's just up to me to entertain myself. So I am totally solo today, which is kind of weird, but my sister and my mom have left for fall break. They are driving down to southern Utah, so I was going to be on my own all weekend, but I'm gonna go over to a friend's house tomorrow. But today, until tomorrow afternoon, I am totally alone. So last night, I read a lot of And the Trees Crept In. I think over 100 pages. I'm about halfway through. It has gotten very, very creepy. So with Dawn Kurtagich's writing, I think my favorite thing about it is that I feel like she writes unreliable narrators well, in that you don't really know what's real and what's not, because with both this book and The Dead House, they both feature characters and it seems like their sanity is kind of unraveling. That's kind of a thing that she's done in both books, and I think she does that really well. We'll see how this book ends. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about the ending. But today, right now, I actually have to drive down and I have to get gas and I have to get someone to put air in my tires because I have low tire pressure and tomorrow I have to drive like an hour to get to my friend's house. So I need someone to fix my car. And that's what I'm going to go do. Oh, also, I filmed an unboxing today and it was really fun. It was all Harry Potter stuff and I really enjoyed a bunch of the stuff that was in there. So that's pretty exciting. But I have a car to go beg a man to put air in. Well, I finished And the Trees Crept In. So here are a quick summary of my feelings. I think the first 60 pages, not great, not that well written. The middle bit was really scary and creepy and I really liked it. And then the ending was like abysmally bad. So I don't really know how to balance that. I think I'm going to balance it out by giving it a 3 because I felt like the middle was really strong and then the ending was so weak that somehow that has to balance into some kind of average rating. So I think I'm going to give it a 3, but I'm glad that this is my sister's copy because I don't really need to own this book. And after enjoying The Dead House as much as I did, I'm really disappointed that this was her second book, and I hope it's not going to set like a precedent for how her future books are, because she has a book coming out in 2018 that sounds really cool, and it'd be great if it wasn't awful. But that is that done, and now I'm going to clean my room because it is a disaster. I'll show you. And then tonight I think I'm going to start reading Spellbook of the Lost and Found. I think that that is going to be my next read. That one sounds spooky, there are witches involved, it's gotten comps to the Raven Cycle, which is good, but I'm gonna clean this room. It is a disaster, and it's making me not feel great. I mean, this is a disaster. I am so mad at myself. Who's ready for an update? Aw, yeah. Look at how clean it is in here. no clothes, everything's cleaned up. I feel real good. And now I'm gonna go eat some dinner. Who's being bad? Is it you? Leia, are you being bad? Yes. Look at those eyes. Look at how guilty this little kitty is. Hey there, it is Thursday, which means it's day 4 of Spookathon, and I wanted to give you an update because I started reading Spellbook of the Lost and Found last night, and I had to force myself to put it down. It is so good. I've been panicking about this book more than any other because this is the one that I feel like all of my expectations are riding on. I just want it to be good, and it's been fabulous. I think I got through like 150 pages last night reading it. There are 3 narrators, they're all women, and two of the narrators are queer, and then there are other queer side characters as well. There's witchcraft and small town gossip, and I love it so much. So there's your update on Spellbook of the Lost and Found. I am about to head out to my friend's house. Gonna be driving down there and staying with them for a couple of days, but before I left, Owl Crate arrived, and I couldn't very well leave without unboxing Owl Crate, so I'm now surrounded by this month's Owl Crate offerings, and I loved this box, so I'm really excited that I opened it before I left because it was fantastic, and now I have a Raven Cycle candle, and it smells amazing. I'm very happy. But I just need to pack up everything. Stuff is kind of laying on my bed right now. And then I'm going to drive out and see my friends. Good afternoon, it is Friday, and I just had to run and make an emergency stop at Walmart. Everything's fine, but I did have to leave the apartment and go to Walmart. I have not done a ton of reading, but I did get reading done, which is kind of unusual for when I'm staying with friends. I woke up a lot earlier than they did, and I finished editing the video that my sister and I did of making butterbeer hot chocolate. That one up. It seems like people are really liking it, so I'm pretty pleased with that. And I read about 50 pages of Spellbook of the Lost and Found, which remains fantastic. Last night, what did I do last night? Oh, we watched The Craft, which was really fun. Brian, one of my friends, watched my favorite witch stuff video, and he was just inspired to rewatch The Craft. And Paige had never seen it before, so we all watched it. It was a grand old time. I love The Craft. But other than that, I think today's gonna be kind of a lazy day, although tonight we are possibly going to see a play that Brian's sister is in, so I have that to look forward to. I will have to get a lot more ready than this, but I'm going to go back inside and settle back in on the couch because that's what I do when I'm here. It's so wonderful. Hi there! Look, I am home! I made it home from my friend's house. I'm sorry I didn't check in at all on yesterday. So day 6 of the readathon, didn't check in at all, but I'm checking in now. It is day 7, the final day of Spookathon, and yesterday I finished reading Spellbook of the Lost and Found by Moira Fowley Doyle, and I loved it. I kind of guessed from the first night of reading this book that I was going to love it because I was just, like, unable to put it down that first night, and then I just read it constantly. Even when I was at my friend's house, I was fitting in times that I could read it, and I finished it. I wound up giving it 4 out of 5 stars. I think the end is the weakest part. It's not bad by any means, but it is the weakest part of the entire story, and so I decided on a 4 overall. It was like incredibly diverse and also magical and wonderful, and just I really loved reading it, and I highly recommend it. And that leaves 1 book left for Spookathon, and that is 172 Hours on the Moon. Probably not going to finish it all today, but I'm certainly going to try. Now, since I've gotten home, a couple of things to share. First of all, I got book mail. I got Brooding YA Hero, which I've been so excited about. This started out as a Twitter that I have been following for years, and so when Sky Pony emailed me and asked if I wanted a copy, like a month ago, I said yes, and now it's finally here. That was fun to get home to, and also fun to get home to is that my sister and I are going as Elsa and Anna for Halloween, and so we have been getting my costume ready today. I'm going to be Elsa. My little sister's obviously going to be Anna. I tried on the wig, the Elsa wig. It's unstyled, but totally wonderful. And now my sister is going to do my Elsa makeup, and I am super excited, and I will show you what that looks like, because currently I'm not wearing any makeup, so it's gonna be good. She has wanted to do my makeup for years, because I don't really care about makeup, and she cares a whole lot about makeup, so maybe I'll get you a clip of that. But I'm going to go put on some Disney princess makeup. Well, we have not braided the wig yet, but we did do this makeup test, which I'm feeling pretty good about. And also, I'm super into this wig, even though it is like dramatically long. Like here, I'll show you a better thing. Look how long this is. I've never had hair this long in my entire life. The longest it's ever been was maybe down to here. Look at this. So Spookathon has ended. It is over. And overall, I'm pretty pleased with how I did this week. As a final reading check-in, here's what happened with 172 Hours on the Moon. I started reading it, I got about 30 pages in, and immediately DNF'd it. It was just not what I wanted to read, and I was also immediately not enjoying the writing style or the characters, and I just decided that since it was a library book, I wasn't going to give it more time than that if it wasn't for me, so I DNF'd it. At that point, there were about 10 minutes left of Spookathon, and so I started a new book that was not on my TBR, and that I was enjoying a lot more. So I completed, in my mind, all 5 challenges for Spookathon. I read 3 total books, so a couple of those were obviously counting for multiple challenges. And while a couple of these books are not going to be some of my new all-time favorites, I think Spellbook of the Lost and Found is really going to stick with me as a favorite of this year, so I'm definitely glad that the readathon gave me a chance to read that. I hope that you have enjoyed following me along Spookathon this week, and I hope that if you participated in Spookathon, you had a really good readathon. Thank you so much for watching if you watched this vlog, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!